So Don, what brings us in today?
Gaming,
Ooh.
especially gaming in 2020. Now, I want to start by saying that we were supposed to do this video earlier. This video was supposed to be out at like the first week of January, but due to our small hiatus and a number of other things happening, we had to take a break. And now we are back ready to go with gaming news of 2020. Now, when I say gaming news, I don't mean everything because that would take
We
hours.
could make a whole series on that.
We really could. I mean, we could do an episode per article,
Yeah.
but and pretty much cover up like the year. But it's not all dreary, and it's not we're not going to do everything. So for those of you listening, don't worry, this is not going to be terrible. But we do need to start off with the no surprise to anyone, COVID-19 ruined gaming for everyone in 2020.
Yes, it did.
It really did. It really did. Games got halted, production was slowed down, games were delayed, like Cyberpunk 2077. Because of COVID, the window kept getting pushed back, and back. Uh, I'm not going to go into my whole Cyberpunk 2077 spiel again because we already did that at episode 1 or 2
Yeah.
or 3, somewhere around there. Somewhere there. But we are going to talk about how COVID really just swayed a lot of things. And also, the gaming industry had some ups and some downs. Now, the biggest story we're going to cover, I'm not going to say it yet, but it rhymes with schmap schmam, meeked lames. And you'll see what I mean by that.
Yeah, I don't even know what you mean by that.
It is gibberish for now, but the last story will make sense as we get there.
Okay.
So, first things first, since we just mentioned Cyberpunk 2077, at its launch, this was huge because at launch, there were 1,297 players at the peak when Cyberpunk 2077 dropped.
Wow.
And 1.7 million streamers were playing it.
You're kidding.
Not kidding. 1.7 million streamers.
That's insane. Okay.
I didn't even know there was that many people streaming.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's definitely on multiple platforms. It's not on
That has to be.
one of the specific ones, but wow.
Yeah, that's not just Twitch, that's not just Mixer, that's not just one platform. That is a mix of all of them. But 1.7 million streamers were playing Cyberpunk 2077 at launch. And that happened in December. So that is wild. Speaking of Mixer, this was like the big news that everyone just like lost their minds for. The shutdown of Mixer.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. It was crazy because people like Ninja and Shroud just got their big deals on it. For their contracts for Mixer to come on over and leave Twitch. So it was pretty much like up in the air, like what was going to happen to them. Were they going to be allowed to come back to Twitch, or were they going to go somewhere like YouTube? I didn't know, but it's hard because when you have a streaming platform already, I mean, you got your YouTube and your Twitch that has been around for a while. For a new one to come up and try to take over, I didn't think it was going to happen.
I mean, I had some hope, not gonna lie. I mean, it was backed by Microsoft. It was think about the competition within the streaming services of TV, of streaming TV shows. Netflix, Hulu, YouTube TV came out. You got Amazon. All these platforms are coming out with their own thing, and people are buying it. So when Mixer was like, "Hey, we're gonna step into the gaming ring," I was like, "Oh, there might actually be some competition here."
Yeah, they had a lot invested at the beginning on bringing a couple of streamers on over, and from what I understand, they did have to pay out their contracts when they left.
They did. They had to pay out some big money. I don't have the exact figures on me, but I know Ninja made some big money and then was able to return back to his motherland of Twitch. And
Yeah.
yeah, and he is just rocking it and making us look, I mean, he makes anybody look poor, but like he really, really makes us look poor.
Yeah, no, compared to like any other streamer, he's definitely on the top there, man. It's it's not generally because of Fortnite, but like his playstyle back then was great, and it's kind of weird because when he started getting more followers and people watching him, he had to change to be a little more family friendly. And just to me personally, like I liked the old Ninja, but I mean he's still entertaining to watch because he's pretty much great at whatever game he plays.
Right. So I see a few of his things, and he is good. I mean, we cannot deny that. He is good. He's doing obviously something that works for people. And so yeah. So congratulations to Ninja for making a lot of money and not having to fulfill your contract. That's amazing. Following that, I have to say that the next thing I want to talk about was Halo Infinite. Now, Halo Infinite was slated to drop in 2020 on the Xbox Series X, but because of COVID-19, because of the gaming delays, Halo Infinite has been pushed to fall of 2021. Now
Wow.
that right, and that is a big deal. Now, for some people who are PlayStation fans, you're like probably like, oh, what does it matter? Like, but if you're just a gamer in general, you understand that any game being delayed a whole nother year. I mean, look at Cyberpunk 2077. It got delayed 3 months and the world blew up.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially when they were
so
waiting so many years for the game to come out already. It's like, okay, an extra 3 months, it's not that bad, man.
right. It's so Cyberpunk 20 so sorry. Halo got pushed to fall of 2021, which is already, people are already sad about that, upset. And I was told by one of my sources, my uncle, who is a huge gamer, he actually told me that he heard through the grapevine that Halo Infinite is actually on the verge of being canceled on past generation consoles. So the Xbox One X, One S, it's on there's a chance that Halo Infinite will not launch on those consoles.
Okay, which I definitely understand. I mean, there's always has to be that point where you stop making games for the previous generations. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we've had to deal with that for years, but it's like when is that point? I always I feel like maybe my personal opinion, a good 3 to 4 years after the new consoles come out, yeah, stop making them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, just within 2 to 3 years, like 3 years, I feel like is like a nice part, maybe four.
Hmm?
But at that point, it's like like that 4 year mark is where like they have like maybe one or two games here or there.
Yeah, it'll be random games too, you know.
Sorry. I know it's always like, Paw Patrol for PS5 and PS4. It's like, what? Like, no one asked for this. I mean, I didn't, but
Yeah, and I know it sounds bad, but there's a point where you gotta like be like, all right, people, we're in the newer generation. You gotta move up, because I don't know what is involved with having to make games for two different generations at the same time.
right.
I'm assuming it's a lot of work. It's cost manpower, money to do all that.
It costs everything, but yeah, I agree. I mean, it's very costly. You're splitting resources down the middle to be able to have it launch successfully on two different platforms. Because I feel like hardcore gamers and gamers alike, I think we all have a general understanding that no two consoles are the same. PS4 and a PS5, not the same thing. Yes, if you're making a game for the PS5 and want to bring it to the PS4, yes, there are assets you're going to carry over. There are different, there's a lot of programming you can carry over, but it has to be optimized and reconfigured and and patched and fixed to fit the next console and the previous console.
Right.
So next up, next stuff from that, I don't mean to just drop it there, but I mean that's that's where we're going with that. So Halo pushed to 2021 fall. That could be August, September, October, even November. So be ready. And speaking of, we're since we're on the Microsoft train, I'm gonna get over. I just want to get a couple more things here. Um, this one, this one tickled me pink. I was laughing at this because there was such an issue, and I don't know if it still is, but there was at the drop of the Xbox Series, there was this big confusion between Xbox Series and Xbox One.
Oh, oh no. Yes, I
Yeah,
saw that article, man. So many people were buying the previous consoles and not the newer
yeah,
ones, which it's like a one word or letter difference.
yeah. It's Xbox Series and Xbox One.
Like
Like what? So
it's so bad.
People were buying Xbox One X's when they're really supposed to try to buy the Xbox Series X, and people are like, I can just imagine, just like that person buying their significant other who is a gamer the console and being like, sweetie, I got you the console you wanted. I
No.
got you the Xbox One. And the person just looking, the significant other just looking at them like, oh, oh no,
Oh, I know. I
you
just
didn't.
disappointment on these kids' faces, when they get it for Christmas, and it's the one that they already have or something.
Right? I don't need two, mom.
Oh man, me
Oh
being
man.
the kid I would have just smiled and been like, "Thank you," you know.
Right. I mean, that's how I would have too. I just been like, oh my god, that's awesome. Like, find a way to go sell it back quickly.
Oh, great times, man.
Yeah, the Xbox Series and Xbox One confusion. Yeah, there were a lot of forums that were blowing up like, oh, my mom got me the Xbox One when I wanted the Xbox Series. She mistaken it. Oh man, it was I don't
It's
want to say it was funny. I don't want to laugh at people's misfortune, but like there's an air of hilarity to
Yeah,
that.
it's definitely an honest mistake, like on regular people. They don't know. If you don't
Yeah,
constantly keep up with games and all that, you're not gonna know.
right. It's like, there's that one post on Reddit from a long time ago. Like, some lady was at GameStop. It was an older lady shopping for her grandson and told the clerk, "Oh, I want to buy my grandson fork knife." And the
No.
clerk's like, "You mean Fortnite?" She's like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's fork knife." It's like, oh Jesus. Oh Lord.
Let
This
me
is
get
why
you on
you
over
always
to
make a list.
Overcooked. Maybe that's
Let
what
me
you're
get you
talking
to
about.
over. Hey man, don't Overcooked is a phenomenal game. I love
It
it.
is. It gives me anxiety though, man. Once you
It
start getting down, the
does.
music gets faster. It's like, oh, geez, I
It's
gotta
like 30
cut
seconds
the.
left. I need onions, tomatoes, stew it, chop it,
Tough
bop it, twist it. Like, ugh.
family arguments start, man.
Yes, yes, they do. So this one, continuing on with our Xbox trend, and then we're gonna be able to move away from Xbox, which it's nothing against Xbox. I'm just saying Xbox news first because there was a lot of negativity, but now let's go to the positive here. And on Xbox, Microsoft purchasing the rights to Bethesda.
Oh man.
I
Ah,
I almost passed out. I really did. I saw the article and I remember just like I felt like my head was spinning because I was just like, whoa. And then I started questioning. I was like, wait, does that mean we're not gonna, PlayStation players are not gonna get Skyrim 6? Does that mean or Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6? Get out of here. Elder Scrolls 6. Does that mean we're not gonna get the next Fallout? Does that mean we're not gonna get, all these games that Bethesda has in the pipeline?
that was my first concern because I love their games. Fallout. And I played a bunch of Skyrim, and not being able to have that for like the PlayStation 5 with updated graphics. For Elder Scrolls 6, I'd be
Right.
pretty bummed out.
I would, yeah. So, but luckily, from my understanding, from what I've heard, they've Microsoft's come out and said that no, they're not going to gatekeep. They're not going to just hold on to the goods because they want everyone to enjoy it. And I mean, if it's a Microsoft license, that means Sony will have to purchase and give a lot of money to be allow them to have the game on their platform, and then also they get the royalties from the sales. And so, yeah, Microsoft's going to make a lot of money off of just an Elder Scrolls game, man. I'm telling you right now.
Do you think that would raise the price for those type of games for PlayStation users.
What you mean, like games that from companies that Microsoft already owns?
Yeah, like let's say, if they had to pay for all those rights and everything, and like let's say the game would normally cost $70 for, the new Xbox Series X, you think it'll cost like $80 for us? Or I don't know, I
Nope.
say us
I don't
because,
think.
you know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just because I know that businesses are in all companies are in for making money. Like that's what they're here for, right? But part of me feels like Sony will eat the cost because they know that the way my understanding is when it comes to like licensure acquisition and being able to purchase a game, the be able to have the rights to have the game on your profile on like your platform, they pay out a lump sum usually. Like there's a couple deals like you just pay the lump sum, they could be like smaller fee but get the royalties. So Sony being Sony, they have they have a dragons smorgasbord pile of money that they can just throw it at them and be like, all right, fine, give us it. So I feel like they would do that. I think they would go the route of paying a high price to be able to get the license, and then they know they're gonna make the money back because people are gonna go nuts and purchase it.
Okay. Makes sense.
Right? See, Don got some brain. Don got knowledge, dude. No worries. So next up, now we're on to I want to hit the negativity, and then we're gonna move on to some really good positives. So uh obviously 2020 was the year for scalping.
Ooh. Yes.
So scalpers were purchasing hundreds and all scalpers were pretty much buying all the stock of PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series, and they were selling them for a huge profit. They were buying them at 500 a piece, selling them for 1,000. They're double, they're making their money back plus more, so then they could just keep scalping.
Yeah, and it was really bad because my buddy and I tried ordering a PlayStation 5 off of Walmart.com, and I didn't find out till after that people had already set up bots to buy it as soon as it came in stock. Because literally, when we went to go click on it, and then before it would even load our next screen, and I have really good internet, it would say out of stock.
Right.
It was
And
absolutely
so,
insane.
yeah, that it is insane. It's incredible that this was even possible. But I know that Walmart they created an algorithm or a program that basically stops scalpers in their tracks. And I believe within like I think there was one drop where I can't remember the number exactly, but they stopped somewhere between like 2 to 300,000 bot purchases.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so that just tells you how much they're like how much people are pushing to really just mess with everybody.
Yeah, it's it.
So
Like I could understand if you did it with like maybe one or whatever, because you're still selling it
right.
to someone, and but like the prices they were going for more than double, and like that's a little greedy if you ask me.
Well, that's super greedy. That's not even a oh, if you ask me. No, that's a if you ask anybody. That's just greedy. People are being selfish, rude.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
seemed to
people are
be
just
so
being.
much worse with this generation of consoles. Like I don't remember it being this bad, when the other ones came out. I could be wrong
Oh
though.
no. I mean, it wasn't this bad. I mean, I remember the PlayStation, the PS4 dropped and people were able to go shopping for them. People had them, they also and that's another again, COVID disrupt all gaming production. That also means the consoles. So they didn't have the manpower nor the resources to really get the production that they wanted out, which is another big issue.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Anyways, next up we have the PS5 and their sticks, their L3R3 stick drift. Essentially, if you guys remember, back at the early 2020, even in 2019, 2018, that was a big thing that the Nintendo Switch, their Joy Cons, had this drifting issue. A lot of people were putting in complaints. Nintendo at first was like, "All right, yeah, you'll pay us, we'll fix it for you." And then eventually, once they saw that so many people were having issues and people started rallying and being like, no, you're going to fix our stuff, they started doing it for free. And now there's action lawsuits against Nintendo for their Joy-Con drift in Europe. And that was a 2021 news article, but just want to bring that up. But yeah, the PS5 bringing even more bugs into people's lives. The games are buggy. There was like save issues. There were issues that people were downloading games that had PS4, PS5 versions, and the PS4 version would download, but not the PS5 version. So people were wondering why their games were not as incredible as they were supposed to be.
And you couldn't put your system on rest mode for some reason, or else it would just mess everything up. Which
Yeah,
I don't know how they can just fix that with like a software update. You
I mean,
know?
everything's internal, it's so, but like, I remember my uncle has a PS5, and, he said that we were playing, and he said that his PS5 like did something. There was something that happened that the moment he saw it happen, he just stopped playing because he knew that if he kept going, his stuff would have gotten corrupted. And
Oh no.
so, yeah, there was a lot of issues with the PS5 drop. The PS5 did not drop beautifully, and the DualShock Sense controllers, those things do have stick drifts. So people who bought one, if you haven't experienced it yet, be ready, because that's that it's coming. Like, if you got it early, best of luck. If you're getting it later, then they're probably fixing it by then.
Yeah, I had the
Uh,
problem with my Nintendo Switch controller. I still have it. I've dealt with it for like a year now, but I sort of live with it, you know?
yeah, I can't. Like, I hate stick drift. How competitive I am.
I mean,
So
most
like,
games, like if you're constantly moving, it doesn't really matter. It's when you're sitting in the menu trying to click on something and then it flicks on over to like the back button or something like that, and you just,
right,
oh, that's the worst.
you're like, all right, let me just slide over to this menu, or let me adjust the audio a little bit low. Oh my god, it's all the way up.
Yep.
Uh, So yeah, so the PS5 didn't drop well. That's why you and I mean, I'm not getting a PS5 for a while for my reasons, but you're waiting also, and this is one of the reasons, that the PS, we before the console even dropped, we talked about this. We were like, we're just gonna wait. Like, we never
Mhm.
get it on drop because we know that it's gonna be buggy. And I had people who were like, no, it's not. They fixed that. They're gonna make sure it launches well. And it's just like, all right. Do you also sleep in the land of rainbows and unicorns? Because you're living in a dream, dude. Like, every console always drops with issues.
Yep.
Like, that's just how it is. So yeah, PS5 was not pretty, but it's getting there. Now, the um last three headlines, last three articles I want to talk about, little pieces of news. First off, GTA 5. You ever heard of it?
Oh
You know
yeah.
that game?
Yeah,
You
I've
know,
played a
the
little bit of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, GTA 5, like one of the best selling games on three different platforms, PS3, PS4, and PS5, and three different generations, and has an online mode that rakes in Rockstar millions of dollars. Like, that little game? Uh yeah, so that tiny itty bitty game that's been out for years now has finally released a non four player heist. A couple of them, actually, because apparently GTA, for the longest time, all their heists were multiplayer. You had to have a team. Now, after years and years, I believe, what now? This is
It's been out for
7
a long
years.
time.
It's like 7 years, yeah. 6 or 7 years. The game finally allows people who don't have friends or who don't want to deal with people, allows them to play by themselves and just have some good old alone time doing their own heists. So yeah, Rockstar.
I feel like that adds a
Uh
little more strategy into it too. I would love to give that a try because I've done a couple of the heists with the four players, but I didn't know until that actually came out that you were required to have all four.
yeah. So yeah, I was tempted to get back into it because I'm like, man, now I can do it by myself. I'm looking for a good shooter that I can play by myself. So like,
I just play it for
but
the
yeah,
mods, dude. It's crazy what
oh
people have
dude,
done.
the modding community on GTA is incredible. So The last two pieces. Now I said the biggest story, remember, is Schmap Schmam Shmeep Schmames or Fames or whatever I
I've
said.
spent this whole time trying to figure out what that means. Okay, just letting you know.
All right, I'm glad. I am glad you try to figure it out. There, we'll get there. But before that, the second to last headline, and these are like the two best ones that I remember, blew my mind. First one, uh, if you have a taste for fried chicken, where do you want to? Where would you go? Where would you go get some fried chicken?
Popeyes.
Right, but there's another restaurant you can get it from, and that is
Oh yeah, you
KFC.
get KFC.
Right. KFC has their own gaming console in the works.
Wait, wait, what?
KFC has their own gaming console in the works. Ladies,
There's no way.
it is, from my understanding, it is going to be a console that runs Steam. Like, it's going to be a console that runs PC like, so you can have Steam games and play your Steam games. And so, yeah, KFC is getting in on the action. Now, here's the kicker from the chicker. Haha, get it? Chicken, chicker, whatever. Anyways, uh, stupid pun.
Dude, I just googled it. I'm googling. I'm seeing these pictures are hilarious. It looks like a freaking like air fryer. What is that?
Yeah, and and so there you go. See, this is why you shouldn't look at it, because I don't want you to spoil the best part. That is, it is going to be a console, and it will have a bottom storage port that will keep your chicken warm for you. It will have its own chicken warmer.
No way.
It's going to have
What
a
is
chicken
that?
warmer.
That's genius. You're kidding me. This is
I'm
great.
not. I
I thought
know.
they were just making fun of it, but that's the actual thing.
No, that's the actual thing.
This,
It's not a.
I got a headache from laughing.
I remember when I saw this, I was laying in bed and I was like scrolling through articles, and I just see it's like KFC console, and I'm like, oh, KF console, what?
Dude, they're gonna make it like attachments now where you can put like little hooks on the side for your like barbecue or your honey mustard cups.
My lord, this is
Your
gonna be
ranch.
amazing. I know they're gonna have like things so you can put your cups there, your soda's gonna go on the side. Can you imagine the skinning community? Like, how many different types of skins they're gonna make for this thing?
It's gonna be great.
Oh
Oh
my lord,
man.
I cannot wait. Do I
Like
think I'm gonna get one? Probably not. But am I excited to see this on the market? Yes, 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 yes. Bring it on. I want to see people buy this and show it off, because I want a good laugh. I just want some good, wholesome enjoyment.
that's nuts. I like that. And it's boasting that it's gonna be in 4K and 120 FPS. That's
That
that's solid.
that's a lot to promise, man. Like,
Wow.
that
That's
is
amazing,
that is
man.
yeah. So yeah, guys, 2020 was wild. You know, we had ups and downs, lefts and rights. KFC comes out from the background like, I know this year has been terrible, but gaming community rejoice. KFC is joining in on the action, and everyone's just like, no one
This
asked for this, but cool, welcome.
this is what our marketing team has done being stuck inside their homes.
They've been playing video games forever, and they decided we also join in on the action. Me too, man. I can't. I just can't stop laughing. Like, that is so perfect. That is like the most perfect idea oh my lord, that's amazing. So now, for those of you who have not figured out my gibberish rambling yet, the Schmap Schmam Schmeep Schmames, in October and November, Capcom had games that were leaked. So Capcom leaked games, my friends. The last story is that in October, November-ish last year, 2020, there were a bunch of games leaked. Now, originally I thought it was only 12, but I found that there was an even bigger list. And some of these Some of these titles, ladies and gentlemen, are insane. Um, Regolith or Regolith. I've never played that, so anyone who has, I just butchered a game that you probably enjoy, and I'm sorry. Indies 2, and there's going to be a port to PS5 for Indies 2 as well, and that is coming out quarter one of the fiscal year 2022. This one, these, I'm gonna go through a lot of them, but for the most part, I'm gonna go off the ones that like I know for sure, and these are the ones that are like amazing. Monster Hunter Stories 2 came out on the DS, was a big success. I believe it was Switch. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it came out on the 3DS. That is supposed to be coming out fiscal year 2021, so somewhere around the corner. There should be a Monster Hunter Stories 2. Obviously, because of COVID, the dates may change, but that is a game that was leaked. Uh,
Wait,
let's
was
see.
this?
Resident.
I'm so sorry to cut you out. Were these like leak games? Like, was it intentional?
No, these are games that were not intentional. These are games that were not supposed to be leaked. These were not supposed to be out to the public. This is stuff that Capcom was hacked and these leaks dropped.
Wow. Like, it's not good
Yeah.
for them, but it gives us something to look forward to.
Okay, so I have a thing with leaks. I think leaks are good. I think gaming, not game story leaks like those who spoil, there's a special place and a special pit in hell for you.
Yes.
If you spoil a game and are just like, I just want to be a troll, you will burn. But I think the leaks are good. Look at Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege, every operator has been leaked at some point. Like when the new operator comes in, there is a quote unquote leak that happens,
Oh.
and the information comes out to get hype going.
Yeah, it's all
I
probably an inside thing, man, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah,
it just sounds better
exactly.
when it's like, oh, it's a leak, you know. It keeps it more secretive and like, oh, I'm not supposed to know this.
Exactly. There's an air of excitement. And so I am a big fan of leaks. I love leaks because it makes me hopeful for what's coming. So 2021, Monster Hunter Stories 2 is supposed to be coming out at some point, or at least announced. Resident Evil Outbreak. That is supposed to come out 2021 quarter four, meaning sometime. I believe that's supposed to be quarter four would be in the back end, so probably around like December-ish. Expect that game. Um,
The pictures on that look
if you've
really good.
Which one?
The Resident Evil. If this is what I'm looking at. Oh no,
Now,
this is one from Resident Evil Village. I apologize.
yeah, no, not Village. Outbreak. Now, if you've never, this is apparently going to be a new version of it because my brother, my uncle, and myself, I did get to enjoy it from time to time. Okay, so I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to horror games, but I watched my brother and my uncle play the crud, whatever, out of Resident Evil Outbreak 1 and 2. They came out on the PS2. And this is a game that I'm like, remember watching them play and I wanted to, but I was too scared. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I always wanted to get into that with them. And so the fact that that was in the PS2 era and now 3 generations later, we are expecting a Resident Evil Outbreak, a new one coming out. I'm excited. Do you know what that game is?
No.
Resident Evil Outbreak, basically you go with a team of 4 and you have to find, like a cure, or you have to find a specific item or complete a level with your team, kind of like a Left 4 Dead, but in the vein of Resident Evil.
Okay.
So it's awesome. And then you can combine, like I remember my brother used to play, I believe it was David the Janitor, and you could do things where like you can, if you were the janitor, you could take a pipe and some cement or like a brick and form it together and make a makeshift hammer.
Oh wow.
So like, yeah, just on the fly, ready to go. So that one, if that is a thing that's supposedly we're supposed to hear something, this year, I am all for it. Now, this one had me excited because I never got to play the first one, and I tried it, and I'm like, I wish I don't know, something about like the graphics now on a big TV. It's just weird, but Dragon's Dogma 2.
I heard that was the first one was a very underrated game.
It is the one of the most underrated games. I played a couple hours of it. I love it. It is amazing. Give me a new one. I want to enjoy it. I want to get into the series. Give me a new one. I'm excited for DD2. Now, Street Fighter 6.
Ooh,
I know Street Fighter 5 has been out for about 5 years now, 5-6 years.
definitely due for
That is
another one.
They are due for another one. Yeah. So the fighting game community, rejoice. It's coming. Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6 is expected. You should hear something by 2022 because it says Q3 fiscal year 2022 is when it should drop.
Cool.
So be ready for that. Now I'm going to skip over one of these because I'm going to make you excited. I want to hear your reaction to this, but we're going to skip to there has been talks, there has been leaks of a Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, if you've ever played Resident Evil 4, one of the best Resident Evil games out there. And they are remaking it. New graphics, new engine, new everything, especially with their RE engine. I'm excited. I am. Resident Evil 4, I played it. I loved it. It's a great spooky game. And I truly believe that the way they have been remaking their games, they remade 2 and 3. And those are, 2 was critically acclaimed. 3 could have been a DLC, but they still made some great, remakes. So I think Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be amazing. That's supposed to be released Q4 of fiscal year 2022. Onimusha. I don't know much about it, but I know that's a thing. Now, Monster Hunter 6. Q2 fiscal year 2023. Now I know it sounds far away, but it's a thing. So be ready for another Monster Hunter. Those things are being pumped out because Monster Hunter is a great series. There is a new Captain Commando in the works. If you don't know Captain Commando, him and his squad of ragtag ninjas and other people are coming back. Q4 fiscal year 2023. Biohazard Apocalypse is the code name for another Resident Evil game we know nothing about. Q3 fiscal year 2023. Another Resident Evil game. Excited. Be excited. Be hyped for it because, oh my lord, it's another Resident Evil game. Then Super Street Fighter 6. Now, this is where I kind of get annoyed because Street Fighter 6 is predicted or leaked to be ready for us, like I said, in Q3 fiscal year 2022, but they already have plans for Super Street Fighter 6 Q4 fiscal year 2023. So a year and about a half later, they already have plans to make the remake, make the version that has everything in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like that's I don't know how to take that because part of me is like, oh my lord, like okay, they're coming out with a new one, but it's like, really, you're already planning for the controversy? Like that's how it comes off to me. Like you're already waiting, you are planning for people to get mad.
Yeah, no, I
Because
fully understand.
that happened with Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 was the same way. It came out and people were like, oh, this is very lackluster, and then they came out with Super Street Fighter 5.
And it's like how you gonna make me pay $15 for a DLC pack with more characters or fighters, and I have to buy 4 of them, but then later on you're gonna sell the whole game for $60.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna so it's coming, just wait for it. Final Fight remake. Ooh, that's a good one. Q2 fiscal year 2024. That's coming out. Let's see. And then let's see. Yeah, so then they got the Super Street Fighter 6, and that's coming out a year and a half later. And then there is the Ultra Street Fighter 6.
Wait.
Yes, you heard that right. Street Fighter.
What's gonna be the difference, man?
So they have Street Fighter 6 coming out Q3 fiscal year 2022. Then they have Super Street Fighter 6 Q4 fiscal year 2023. And then in 2024, Ultra Street Fighter 6. Are you out your goddamn mind? Oh my lord.
Okay, so if Super is gonna come with everything, what's Ultra gonna come with? Like
Probably more
a pin,
characters that they didn't put out before.
a sew-on patch for your vest.
An iron patch, my friend. Iron patch.
Did I
And then
say a
there's
sew-on?
this. You said a sew on. I mean,
Oh
either way,
my
sew on,
god!
iron on,
Who,
glue it
who
on.
does
I don't care.
sew-on
They're gonna.
patches anymore?
It's the Boy Scouts. Come on,
I
get with it. Now, there's codename Resident Evil Hank. Know nothing about it, but a new Resident Evil game is leaked for fiscal year 2024, quarter four.
Okay.
So somewhere in 2025, we should know about Resident Evil Hank, whatever that code name stands for. Now, last two games I want to talk about. One of them I am excited beyond belief, and that is Power Stone Remake. Have you ever played Power Stone, my friend?
I have not.
Go look at gameplay because this game came out on Dreamcast.
Oh,
This is a
wow.
Sega Dreamcast game made by by Capcom. They created Power Stone. Power Stone is essentially like almost like an open map, like a 3D arena Smash Brothers.
Wait, this was on the Dreamcast?
If you're looking at the images right now, it is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
for
a Dreamcast game.
that type of system back then.
The Dreamcast was underrated, man. The Dreamcast had the potential to be one of the best consoles ever. It was amazing. And so yeah, Power Stone being remade quarter 3 fiscal year 2024.
I'd be all on this. Like you said, the 3D version of Smash.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's
That'd be
essentially a
nuts.
3D version. So Uncle Boris, my brother, we got to get back on it. So 2024, we're looking out for that. And then the last one. Now, if you're looking at the leaks, it says here Rockman match. Do you know what Rockman is?
No.
Rockman is also known as Mega Man.
Wait.
M-
What? What?
Mega Man match is expected for fiscal year 2022, quarter 3. A new Mega Man game is in the works, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. I love Mega Man. Oh, I love them.
That is why I waited for that one for last, because I know you are a huge fan of it.
This is going to be great.
So, yeah, guys, 2021, 22, 23, 24, Capcom has our backs, except the fighting community. They are going to just take your money over and over and over again, and you're going to pay them because you want to enjoy the games. I get it. But yeah, so lots of Resident Evil news, lots of Street Fighter news, there's a lot coming out, guys. So be excited, be ready, and I can't wait. My biggest ones are Resident Evil Outbreak, if it's true, Power Stone, and that Resident Evil 4 remake. And then for you, I'm assuming Rockman is definitely up there for you.
Oh yeah, Rockman's gonna. Well,
Mega Man.
They make it challenging. That's what I loved about the old Mega Man games is they were hard. Like some levels were relentless.
You say you want challenging, but then you don't want to play Cuphead. What's wrong with you?
Hey, we'll leave that up for debate.
I don't want to hear it. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. It's about time for us to wrap things up. So we want to thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to having you on next time when we talk. Well, we're not going to talk. We are going to have a picky food taste test. That is right.
Yes, that is right.
Matt believes that he is less picky than I. I believe I'm the less picky. And we are joined by Reggie, our support writer and research team member. All three of us will be having a battle to see who is indeed the least picky eater. So that's coming up next week.
I think I got that one, man. It's in the bag.
You're cocky. You're cocky. I think I'm the least picky. And remember, the rules are, join us next week, because the rules are the person who is the least picky is safe from revealing their nastiest food combination. So 2 people are going to reveal their disgusting food combinations or weird food combinations. So join us next week for that. But if you enjoyed today's show, please leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as we upload our next video. As for Matt and I, we're logging off. So until next time, keep gaming and stay safe.